Ladies and gentlemen of the Action Army, what is going on? And welcome to another episode of Answers for Athletes. In today's video, I would like to talk to you about why vertical jump and jumping higher is not complicated. It is actually extremely simple. It's not easy. It takes time and it takes efforts and the right training to cause adaptations that will then lead you to become bigger, stronger, faster, more explosive, more powerful. But I'm going to go on a rant because I was listening to a podcast earlier, and there's so many podcasts and videos and coaches and trainers that just overcomplicate things and they make it seem so complicated. And one of the best things that I have going for me is that I'm kind of dumb. Like, I'm not really dumb, but like, I'm just dumb enough to have issues with certain things that, like, the best instruction manuals are written by people who had trouble doing that thing. You got these really intelligent guys and these brainiacs and all these geniuses out there who don't have the same struggles as other people have. They're not going to write a good instruction manual. They're not going to be a great coach. You kind of have to go through these struggles yourself and learn along the way to therefore then go and teach it to other people. So this is kind of a rant because vertical jump is simple. And I'm going to prove it by giving you these 3 simple steps. If you just do these 3 things, your vertical jump will improve. And the water gets muddied by all these advanced techniques. You got people saying, well, you got to do French contrast and triphasic training and oscillatory and joint angle. And you got to be doing overcoming isometrics and AFSM. It all boils down to this. 3 things that you need to do to jump higher. It's quite simple. Number 1. You got to be doing the right exercises. Obviously, you can't be doing bicep curls trying to jump higher, right? The exercises that you choose need to touch all of the qualities on the force velocity curve. So you got to be doing stuff for velocity, you got to be doing stuff for force, you got to be doing stuff for power, strength, speed, strength. Some may be more important than others, but you got to choose the right exercises. As long as you are doing the correct exercises that lead to a higher vertical jump, which I have tons of videos on the correct exercises on this channel, but just like sprints, squat, hinge, calf raise, you got sled pulls, you got approach jumps, you got skips, hops, bounding. Like, there's so many exercises that you could do to jump higher. So step number 1 is you need to choose the right exercises. Step number 2, what do you think I'm going to say? I say it so much. This is the main principle. You have to progressive overload. You got to be doing more than last time. You need to stimulate your body in a way that causes change. You guys are probably so sick of me saying that, but that is the main thing. If I had to pick one main thing, that is the main thing. So choose the correct exercises, your sprints, your squat, hinge, calf raise, all your other plyos, all your strength training, split squat, lunges, whatever you're going to do, your strength and your plyo exercises. Then you have to progressive overload those exercises. I just started going to the gym with my buddy to hit upper body because left to my own devices, I will skip upper body and every day will be leg day because I just want to jump higher. But I was like, what's your plan? Like, are you tracking anything? He said, no, I'm not tracking right now. I'm just trying to get back into the gym as well. So he's not tracking any of his upper body numbers. I love my friend. He's going to track soon, but you have to be tracking. Like, you should not go into a workout not knowing what you did last time. You should not squat not knowing what you squatted last time. You should not, well, sprints are a little bit different. You should not approach jump not knowing what your previous PRs are. You should not do strength exercises not knowing what your previous PRs are. You should always be, unless it's a deload day or a deload week or a back off or a taper, you should always be trying to get more than last time because that is how you stimulate the organism, which is the body as a whole in general, to force change to get faster, stronger, more powerful, etc. So step number 1, you got to choose the right exercises. Step number 2, you got to progressive overload those exercises so that your body has a reason to change. Step number 3, this is where a lot of people go wrong. You need to leave enough time for recovery. So many people go wrong. I've been wrong so many times. I have coached athletes that I was pushing them too hard, which it can be tough. Like, in-person training, I can understand a little bit better. Online training, it can be tough, especially with my programs. Customized coaching is a little bit better, but with my programs, like, there's a lot of factors that play into it. You might be doing too much. So you have to give your body time to rest and recover so that you can see these changes through you doing the correct exercises and progressive overloading these exercises. That is why you should train really hard every session, but you should add in your deloads and your back-offs and your tapers so that your body can have a chance to adapt from all of this stress that you've been giving it. So these are really the 3 steps. Like all of these techniques that seem to make it complicated, that, like I mentioned, the triphasic training, none of them are really that complicated, but the French contrast and the complex method and the AFSM and the oscillatory and the joint angle and the overcoming isometrics, like there's a lot of stuff to do, but at the end of the day, all of that boils down to these 3 things. All of that can fit in these categories. Let's take like in overcoming isometric. Let's just say we're doing a split squat at a joint angle for single leg jumping. It's like that is the right exercise. That is an exercise that you can do to increase your vertical jump, and you have to know what numbers you did last time. Of course, you got to know the basic principles, like pull as hard as you can for 3 to 5 seconds. Sometimes people plug in like 10 to 15 second overcoming isometrics. Like that's a little bit long. So like you have to know like a little bit of the details about these techniques, but they're all just techniques that fit into these buckets. Then you got to know what you did last time, and you got to try to do more for overcoming isometrics. Like unless you can track it, you're just going to be pulling as hard as you can, but you have to progressive overload every exercise. So if there was a 4th tip or a 4th step, I actually did have this in there, but then I took it out, but I am going to mention it. So right now, the 3 simple steps to make sure that you jump higher. If you do these 3 things, you'll jump higher. Number 1, choose the right exercises, progressive overload those exercises, and make sure you're leaving enough time for rest and recovery so that this, like most people break the central nervous system down, the muscles, the tendons, and the central nervous system is the main monster in this. And people don't jump their highest. They're like, I have high days and low days, but I'm feeling really sluggish. I never really feel fresh anymore. It's the central nervous system. But the 4th one is intent. You got to have the right intent. Like certain exercises are really hard to track your progressive overload. Like sprints, unless you have a timing system, you just have to give max intent. Sprint as fast as you fucking can. Overcoming isometrics. Pull as hard as you can. Like, but a lot of coaches, like some coaches just do it because like they maybe don't have the best way to explain things. Like Einstein said, if you cannot explain something to a 6-year-old in simple terms so that they understand it, then you yourself don't understand it well enough, which I 100% agree with. You have to be able to break things down just to their simplest form. And then also, some coaches overcomplicate things just so that, you know, you'll buy their program. Oh, this is the way to do it. Bro, the way to do it is choose the right exercises, progressive overload those exercises, and then recover. That's it. Love you all. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, leave your comment, question down below if you want me to answer your question in a video just like this, and get my training programs if you want to take your vertical jump to the next level. But I'll see you tomorrow. Love you all. Peace.